the less casual gaming. The less casual gaming. The less casual gaming. The less casual gaming.
Hello, you're listening to Thoughtless Casual Gaming with Brett and Jace. We are a Geelong-based gaming podcast where we do stuff occasionally.
Sometimes.
And tonight we're talking about the year that was, 2024.
And because we only do things and play games sometimes, this shouldn't actually be an overly long episode.
No, it's not going to be overly long. The year isn't over, but I'm not seeing an awful lot more happening by the end of the year.
I think I have one more plan. More plan for the year, and that's all. I bet, meh.
That's more than me. I've got, hoping to get a bit more paint on some models over the next couple of days, but Christmas in retail, it's not the quietest time, so we'll see how much time and how much energy I have when I drag myself home each day.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of, I've got this. It's not in the box anymore, and I don't have a receipt, but I'm pretty sure it was bought from here, and I'd just like to return it for a refund. I know this bit's broken, but anyway.
Just no. Don't be that person, people. Anyway, 2024, what a shit of a year. It's not been the most fun. And in saying that, I suppose I can segue into this as well. It is the holiday season. Holidays are not always the most fun time for people, so stay safe, people. Keep your chin up. Reach out if you need. Reach out to people if you think they might need it. This time of year can suck hardcore for some people, so please make sure you're looking after everyone. Because as a whole, 2024 was not a fun year for me. But yeah, we're still here. We're still kicking.
Being kicked.
Yeah, we're being kicked a lot, but still here being kicked. That's got to be something said for that, I suppose. Anyway, podcast-wise, this will be episode 18 this year. So What's that, like one every 3 weeks, roughly?
Which, to be fair, is actually more than I thought we were going to end up on.
Yeah, likewise, actually. So still churning them out at a decent interval. I'd like to get some more regularity happening. More regularity with the podcast as well. But, we'll see what next year brings.
Keep drinking that prune juice, but shit, yeah.
Our most listened to episode in 2024 was actually a review of 2023, which we did early Jan. So
we are gearing this up. If theme is anything to go by, this is actually going to be the most listened to episode of 2025.
Potentially. It depends when you get it out, doesn't it?
Well, are we talking about episodes? Is this episodes that we released in 20? Is this episodes that we released in 2024 that people listen to, or is this the most listened to episode in people listened to in 2024, which may or may not have been an episode that we released in that year?
Very true. I don't have that information. So I know that the most listened to one that we released this year was that 2023 one.
Right.
So
we've already let ourselves down by giving our gold away before.
Yes. Well, what do you do? Events. We ran a few events this year.
There were things.
So there were definitely things. We had our 2 paint events. We had Finish a Thing, and we had Paint a Thing. So obviously we need to stick thing in somewhere for the next one.
I mean, that's generally my goal in life. Although I feel like we should have reversed those, and it could have been paint a thing, and then all the people that didn't finish the thing that they were painting could have done the next one and then finished the thing.
I mean, you say that, but that involves a lot of preemptive thinking.
Oh yeah, no, we're not doing that. But if we had have, if the stars magically aligned that way.
Who suggested these paint events? Like, was it us? Or one of them was somebody else, at least.
Definitely, I'm pretty sure Finish a Thing was Ant from memory.
That does ring bells. Was Paint a Thing us?
It might have been us.
Okay.
Let's give ourselves credit.
Well, then the blame for getting them in the wrong order lies on us.
Well, no, because Ant gave us the idea for the other one before we had the idea for this one.
Yes, we should have had the idea first.
Oof, that's asking.
No.
No.
No, not going to happen. So, 2 paint events. We had multiple entries for both. Both of them I consider quite successful. I think, we probably did 4 episodes alone on those 2 events with the amount of entries that we had.
I mean, we said do a thing, people did a thing. I'm chalking that up as a win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dance for me, monkeys.
We tell you what to do and you end up doing it. That's just silly. Don't listen to us. God, what are you doing, people? But huge appreciation to everyone that entered and submitted something for either, if not both, of those events. Huge congrats to the winners again for both of those. We had some amazing pieces submitted. Some crazy stuff. Way too big models. Things I would never even consider painting. I have one large model in my collection that I have attempted to start painting. I have definitely not finished it.
How many tufts have you put on that Glockin? No, wait, that's not you.
That's not me. Although it's around about the same size. It's one of those Forge World Great Unclean ones. A big chunk of plastic that can...
You haven't thought about sanding him smooth and having a great clean one?
No, definitely haven't thought about that and will not think about that. So, again, thank you to everyone that got involved. We will no doubt have another paint event probably in the first half of next year. So get yourselves ready. We will put some thought, but not much, into what that'll be at a future point in time.
Oh, yeah, not now.
Not now.
Don't think you're listening to this episode getting hints and ideas about what we're planning, because this is how we keep you on your toes. We don't know what's coming either.
No, we don't know what we're talking about when we're talking about it, let alone in advance. We ran 2 sevens events as well. So Thoughtless Bowl 5 was held in June, from memory.
It sounds like an appropriate time of year.
July. Yeah.
It is a J one.
Yeah, one of those. Stock standard sevens event. A lot of fun. These sevens events, we continue to put them on because people continue to have fun at them and continue to come back like the fools that you are. But Thoughtless Bowl 5 was won by Adrian with his gnome team shortly, not long after the gnomes were released, which I still consider to be absolute gold.
They are my thoughts. That's all I got.
Especially after you ran gnomes in a season shortly after, and did not quite come up to Adrian's high level.
I still got nothing. I have absolutely no response to this. They are silly. They're a silly team. I'm not entirely sure how we managed to pull that off, but kudos.
Yeah. I need to paint mine up because I really want to run them sometime this year. I'm not expecting much, but I really want to run them. After that, in October, we ran Why So Series 3. And I've got to say that as far as I'm concerned, that was a huge success. Not only did Lee come away with the awesomest, most awesome player of awesomeness award with his Norse, but more importantly, we had so many people come on board as sponsors, donate things, and just, back us 110% because we put all of the so-called profits. We don't make profits off any of these things, but so-called profits went to Beyond Blue, which, considering the year I've had, was a very appropriate charity, let's say. But we raised, it was over $1,600. I don't have the amount in front of me. That's a bit silly. Continue talking, Jace.
But it was several dollars, and it was, I think, the first time we'd considered doing something with any purpose that wasn't just self-indulgence. It was, something that we kind of went, actually, if we're going to put all this time, effort, and blood, sweat, and tears in, we should probably do for something slightly bigger than ourselves. And coming up with the idea of Beyond Blue as something that we'd like to support, and it really was the sort of the fuel behind everything that then followed. And it was a huge day. It was an absolute blast, and just to see how many people were so, and this is both sponsors and then just the people coming along, just so open and generous, and giving. As soon as they realised that where this was going, people were on board 120, 200%. It was a lot more than I think we expected. It was a lot more than we hoped for. So it was a pretty overwhelming little event, but for all the right reasons.
It really was. I think, I don't know what I put the original goal of. I think it was something like $400, thinking that'd be a decent amount to raise. And it wasn't long before I had to up that because we'd already hit it. I ended up putting a $750 goal, which I thought was, again, nice number to hit. But we had $400, over $400 donated directly through the Beyond Blue website. And then on the day, through everything that we'd done, the ticket sales, all the donations, all the auctions and things like that we ran, and people donating on the day, we raised another $1,250 on the day, taking us up to $1,665, which I think is just incredible. But it is also something that we can improve on next year.
Mm-hmm. We know it's achievable now. So I think there's, definitely some lessons. There's some, ways that we can tinker, and hopefully bigger and better.
Oh, absolutely. There's, look, we've started this now. We know roughly what we're doing. So look out for ideas in the future of, what we're going to put towards 2025. I'm determined will be a bigger and better year for all things involved. TCG, Why So Serious, anything to do with us, I want to put the foot on the accelerator for and see what we can do and what we can achieve. So thank you to all who got behind us on that. Thank you to all who will continue to get behind us, because we have such an amazing crew of people supporting us and promoting us that it is just, we say it every bloody episode, but this is blown up so much more than what we expected.
And I mean, I think, you know, the consistent story that we hear is the story of the low bar that we continue to set ourselves. So anything is frankly above and beyond what we expected, but this is next level.
Yeah, absolutely. Sevens, we ran a couple of leagues for that. We have Thoughtless Sevens Season 6 currently taking applications for teams on Tour Play. There's a link in our Discord. If you are interested in joining us for some stupid Sevens Blood Bowl games, a chance to get away, play a game every fortnight where you will hopefully just laugh your head off. By all means, get in contact with us, apply on Tour Play. Again, links in the Discord.
Apply is a very interesting term, and let's be clear, there is absolutely zero chance of rejection.
Yeah, absolutely none whatsoever. Apply. What's the word I'm looking for?
Register.
Thank you. It has been, again, like Christmas in retail.
It feels like that there's some kind of vetting process, and there's a quality that no, none of that is happening. And I think the other half of that is if it is something that you maybe have seen being played around, or you've been vaguely curious and you want to give it a red hot crack before committing to a league, again, absolutely get in touch. This is what we do. So very happy to run people through games, you know, try before you buy kind of approach, and see if it's something you'd be keen on.
Oh, absolutely. We have had so many cool people jump onto these Blood Bowl Sevens leagues, and you know, the percentage of people that stay on and keep playing and have continued to play through each and every season since they've joined is not only impressive, but it is also a good indication of the quality of people that we have playing. We have some amazing people. We're not serious about it at all. We play Blood Bowl for the shits and giggles, for the fun of it. And, you know, if you want to come along, if you're anywhere near Geelong, or you can make it down to Geelong once a fortnight for a game, please come and join us, because we would love to have you there.
What he said.
Yeah. Hobby-wise, I didn't do much.
I pulled together one of those. It happens at the end of every year where people do like an art versus artist thing, and they throw a little post of themselves with a bunch of stuff that they've painted. And I scrounged together one of those earlier this week, sometime in the not too distant past. And I went, oh, I thought I did more than that.
Guaranteed you did more than me. I put a lot of models together, and I have a lot of new models. Most of them are sitting on this desk here. It turned up to Big V end of November. I came home with 2 new teams and a handful of star players and other bits and pieces. So purchase-wise, hobby has been good. Painting-wise, no.
So as long as we count collecting as a hobby,
yes,
it's fine, right?
Spending money is fine, isn't it?
That's a thing that we do. Yeah, I did stuff, but again, I pulled that together, and I went through all my went through the photo albums on the phone and went, I thought there was a little more than this here. I feel like I need to lift my game a little bit.
You've probably painted quite a few teams, haven't you?
Oh, a couple. There was bits and pieces, but like flicking through. Hang on, where are we? I finished the Renegades.
Mm-hmm.
I finished my puppy human team, the Grebo ones.
Yeah.
My gnomes were done for the last season, and then I did the stuff for Why So Serious. So the Goblin
so that was
team
a full team,
and a couple of other pieces. So my community team and stuff. Beyond that, there was a kill team where the Space Marines.
Mm-hmm.
There was some Necromunda I did, and that is kind of about where she stopped.
Well, it's still more than me. I can think of, one or two models that I painted. I definitely painted up that model for the Why So Serious community team that we did, where everybody who wanted got a model to paint. I painted up probably half of my lizard team. I painted up a Skaven for one of the painting events. Finisher thing. I don't even know what I finished for the finisher thing. I'm scrolling back through a lot of pictures of Thoughtless Bowl and all sorts of stuff. I've done work on things, but not actually finished a lot, if that makes sense.
Are you preempting another finisher thing in the
Maybe I am.
Is that what's happened here?
The next painting competition is to finish painting one of my models. I will give you whatever you want. You finish painting it and give it back to me. And the winner is me for getting all these models painted.
So we're going to have a painting, like commissioner thing.
Commissioner thing. If anyone feels like painting any of my models, please let me know, because I have, I don't know, there's probably about 40 sitting on my desk that aren't even primed yet. So there's a number. And I still haven't worked out what I'm taking next season, and then I need to paint that properly.
I mean, neither. Let's be clear.
I've still got like 3 or 4 ideas in my head of which way to go.
3 or 4?
Yeah, no, you've got like 30 teams submitted, but I've got 3 or 4 that I'm considering, and then the other side of my brain is going, you really need to find a dark elf team that you like, because you don't have a dark elf team. You need to find some models that you like and make a dark elf team.
No, they're half painted. Yeah, I've got that's fine.
I actually made a list the other day too of all of the teams in Blood Bowl and which ones I had and which ones I had assembled and which ones I had painted, and there's quite a few teams I don't actually own.
I did that, and then I put them in order of which ones I would like to play.
Mm-hmm.
That order changes on a very regular basis, though.
I can imagine.
But yeah, there is a terrifying few that I do not own.
I mean, a good chunk of them are Dungeon Bowl teams for me, but...
oh yeah, they don't count.
No, well, and I've got one elf team that could sort of proxy for pretty much any of the elf teams.
I see, I've got all 4 of the elves. That's not a problem. Funnily enough, I don't have a chaos team.
I have at least one, potentially more. I got one pro painted. I had the old Grebo metal chaos team, which I got pro painted like years and years and years ago, which I still love. They're still amazing models. It didn't do it quite as pink as I wanted him to, but I've got those. I've got 2 Nurgle teams, Khorne team, and I definitely bought the Chaos GW team at some point. Whether I've done anything with it or not, I don't know. So that may be somewhere in the mound of plastic that I'll eventually have collapse on me, and they'll find my body suffocated underneath at some point. Unless I get my house organised and start painting.
Oh my god, this is actually a terrifying list. So, I'm looking through this going, all right, I haven't got an assembled, dedicated Black Orc team.
But
Chaos?
you bought the box.
Oh, yeah, I've got models kicking around, but I haven't actually gone, right, here is a Black Orc team. They are there. They are ready. I haven't hijacked them for random things. Chaos Chosen, I do not have. I don't have a Dwarf team. No, that's it. That's it.
I think I don't have Amazons. I don't have Dark Elves, which is probably the one that I need to get my hands on something. But again, all of the Dark Elf teams seem to look very similar to me. They all are elves with lots of spikes. And I want something that just sort of sticks out a little bit better.
I ended up going with, actually, that's a lie. I've got at least two Dark Elf teams. One is the Grebo ones, which aren't bad. And then I saw the Agni ones, which are kind of like Raven themed.
Okay.
Which are also very pretty. And again, I've started painting both of those teams at some point and never progressed. So
I might have to get you to send me some pictures.
Yeah, I'll get you some pics.
Yeah. So Amazons, Dark Elves, Dwarves. I don't have a human team. So I think that's flowing along those lines as well. I did obviously buy the box, but I hacked at the human team and made them into a Chaos Renegades team at some point.
Good life choice.
Yeah, I thought so. I don't have an Old World Alliance team. And according to this list, I don't have a Shambling Undead team, but that seems wrong.
It doesn't
Surely
seem right.
I do. No, that doesn't seem right at all. Although, did I just get like half a team in one of those Dungeon Bowl boxes? Maybe that's what I'm thinking. Anyway, that got nothing to do with
what happened in 2024. Well, I mean, this is just more stuff that didn't happen in 2024, really.
Yes. Tangents, eh? Tangents. So, painting-wise, very little.
Yeah, a disappointing amount. I have a thought about how to tackle that. I don't know if that's at this episode or a next episode discussion, though. Could be a next episode.
Yeah, it could be. One year I painted a lot, and I did that by pretty much trying to get paint on a model every day that I could, even if it was just like a shoulder pad or something. So, I don't know. I'll have a think because, like I say, 2025 has got to be different. So, something has to change. Games-wise, though, we did play a few new games. So, Necromunda.
Necromunda was a definite one. That was probably that was the one that I went, oh, this is actually kind of juicy. I could make this a thing. I got a little bit excited.
You had a good crew, which were playing solid Necromunda games.
Yeah.
I joined for one session and had an absolute ball, but I just haven't managed to get along to anything else since. Are those guys still going?
Still going. They were running a campaign that kind of fizzled. But they're planning on kind of wrapping that up and hoping to start a new one sometime in the new year. So I will be keen to jump in on that one. But they've just been playing catch-up games when people can.
Yeah.
They've been down to, there's a club out sort of Drysdale-ish way a couple of times. They've been to the monthly games night on the Esplanade a couple of times, and they're catching up sort of ad hoc all over the place in between.
Okay. Well, that's good because, I had such a ball playing that game. It was exactly what I hoped it would be. The only thing that terrifies me is that I painted my crew years ago, and adding to it kind of terrifies me because I don't know if I'm going to be able to paint anything like what I painted then, because I will not remember which colours I used or anything like that. And there's been some cool stuff come out for my crew since then.
There's been a lot of cool stuff come out just for the game in general. Yeah, I have plans for them.
Necromunda seems to be one of those ones where GW just pushes the crowd, or not necessarily even pushes, but like just churns out the stuff for it.
And yeah, they've definitely they're just doing, it feels like it's a small enough scale that even as a sculptor or a company producing the game, you can just go, here's a thing, and people go, oh my god, it's another thing, and you can kind of put a lot of effort into a little thing rather than having to come up with, oh shit, we need to make an army worth of stuff.
Yep.
You don't need to make an army worth of stuff. You can just do a few cool things and people get excited like hell.
Oh yeah, I mean, just look at the Blood Bowl people. One team.
Please,
oh my god,
give me something, just please.
Just please. What else did we play? Goblin Quest.
That was glorious. I will also say one of the other highlights.
So much fun. So it's just crazy stuff, though. Like, just a weird game, but weird in all the good ways.
Yeah. That was great. And it was low investment, low everything except for giggles. It had many of those.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we need to get that going again at some point, because that was just, it was a one and done session. It was a good night, and it was, I think we were laughing too loudly for the rest of the people there.
Oh, there was definite dirty looks from other areas, but meh. I was having a good time. You add some drinks into that and it would go.
Ooh.
Anyway.
Yes. All of the yes. Another game which has gone balls to the wall, full pelt this year is Kill Team. Mainly thanks to Chad in our Discord, who's been pushing that considerably and has drummed up not only an awful lot of interest, but an awful lot of games.
There's been so many games of Kill Team. There has potentially been more games of Kill Team than Blood Bowl at some times, and that is terrifying.
Terrifying, but I think I had one, maybe two games with Chad.
Mm-hmm.
I still got to paint up my models for them. That was another hobby disaster for me. I did up my crew, and I did it up exactly the way I thought was right and followed the right things. And it said, you have 2 squads of X amount of people. So I made my 2 squads, and I put them in, and I started painting them, and they were all looking awesome and well on their way to being exactly how I wanted. And I differentiated the squads by having different camo. And then when I played, Chad was like, wait a minute, no, that's wrong. You get 1 squad and you get all this other cool stuff that you can do. I'm like, well, crap.
And does that mean you have to differentiate everyone with different camo? That's a lot of different camo.
No. Do I now just stick it with the 2 different kinds of camo, different colours? Or do I start half of them over again and try and make them look like a unified team? I don't know. I haven't come up with an answer, which is why they haven't been finished.
I feel like there is a beautiful Orky story about these 2 rival clans that have come together for some. Actually,
potentially,
you know that Lord of the Rings bit where you've got the goblins carrying, or whoever is the orcs carrying, a couple of the hobbits. And then there's a second orc or goblin clan, and they're kind of fighting over it. Like, that is the kind of thing that's happening right here.
And I could lean into that narrative by shooting at my own guys every now and then.
I mean, I feel like it's only appropriate.
Yeah, okay. All right, that might be a way. Marvel Zombies as well. That got a couple of goes. That was good fun. I mean, Zombicide's always good fun.
I really enjoyed the difference in the mechanics, though. It didn't just feel like another game of Zombicide, although
Yes.
it was another game of Zombicide.
Yes. But, playing as the zombies was different enough to playing as the heroes that it made it interesting. So I've got Deceased coming at some point as well. So we will have more games of pretty much the exact same game, but just with DC characters instead of Marvel. That will definitely happen.
As
Alien,
a side note,
yeah,
Batman will win just because he has prep time. But continue.
We'll see. I played Alien Escape from the Nostromo, or Fate of the Nostromo, which was a board game I picked up through Amazon because I saw a YouTube video once of somebody playing it and thought, that looks cool, I'll give that a go. And then saw it cheap on Amazon, picked it up, and it's the simplest game. It was really brain-friendly, let's say, but a lot of fun. So that got to go this year. And then as far as other new games, technically not a new game, but I did play a session of D&D this year, which I haven't done for a long time. And I ran that session, which has probably been a lot longer. I had a session with my kids. So,
oh, nice. Yeah.
So I ran them through a brief session where they fought giant rats and had a ball. They had a lot of fun. So that is something that's going to have to come up again.
Yeah, it's actually been something I've been toying with because there's a few different options out there that are super kid friendly, kind of intro to role play things, and I've just been kind of going, when is right?
I think my kids are sort of at that age now where they get it. D&D, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in D&D. There's a lot of skills and proficiencies and stuff like that. And I ran it simple, but I think even something aimed at a younger age group would probably be better. Although my kids had a ball.
Yes, and I think it's really about how you run it. But there's a few there where I've seen where it's stuff like the characters are literally do what you want. Do you want to be a pirate or an astronaut or a fairy or a dinosaur? Do what you want. Nobody cares. Yep. And equally, really simple dice mechanics. That kind of 4 always works, 3 and below doesn't kind of deal.
Yep. So
there's a few of those kicking around that have been done as kind of intros for kids. And again, there's also a few where if they've gone... A lot of role-playing games lean heavily into a combat mechanic. And there is a few that have gone, no, we want to give a lot more options and kind of, give you options that aren't always bash your way through something as well. So, there's maybe a future episode in this anyway, but around intros to things like this, because there's some cool stuff.
No, definitely worth looking into. I mean, my kids are 8 and 10, so they're interested. They're very interested in these games that Dad plays, and I have had a very basic game of Blood Bowl with my daughter, where it was pretty much she took the lizards because they were pretty, and I put them up against halflings, and it was basically, okay, you're hitting that guy, you've got a bigger strength, so you get 2 dice. Tackle zones be damned. It was very much like that. And so they're at that age now where they're excited about playing stuff with Dad. Lukey came up, my son came up recently, and I was playing Halo because there's a bit of talk about Halo Flashpoint in the Discord at the moment, and it got me thinking, reminiscing. And so I started playing Halo again, because I don't think I'd ever played the first or the second game. I think I started with 3. Lukey came up, had a look, and he's like, can I play? And I thought for a brief moment, and the instinctive answer would be no, because it's a shooting game, and it's, my first thought was, no, he won't have fun playing it. But then I thought, No, it's pretty simple. I'm going to give him a controller to see how he goes. And he was killing things left, right, and centre. He got the controls pretty quick. And so now, we've moved on from Lego Star Wars to when we play together, it's Halo. So we stick it on easy, but, whatever. He's still holding his own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, apart from every time he seems to get into a vehicle, the first thing he does is run me over. But apart from that...
Oh, you think that's not intentional? How cute.
Yes. So, yeah, look, they're getting into that sort of age. So it's worth having a look and seeing what sort of games we can introduce them to. How old are yours two again?
Oh, little. Like 6 and 3.
Yeah.
Finny, I'm not even trying. He's just, he is literally, Charlie was playing Xbox a little bit this afternoon, just like Paw Patrol or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Finny was literally there with the controller that was not turned on. He thought he was having a blast, that he was one of the dogs and he was having a great old time.
Oh my God, yeah, no. I did that with Lukey for a bit too. When he was too young, but he wanted to sit there and join in. Yeah, the old unplugged controller is gold.
I thought he was going to cotton on, but it actually worked really well for a while.
Yes. Any other games you want to mention off the top of your head?
Other stuff that got a bit of a play only very recently was the new edition of Underworlds.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes, I have not had a go at that yet.
I've got a little bit of a run through of that. Turns out it is the same bloody game, which is glorious because it means I'm not too far behind the 8 ball on learning the rules. I'm still up to scratch, but I'm not that far below. So that was good. And then there were some plans, there were some ideas, there were some things I wanted to get going. There's some things I'm excited about in the very near future, but none of them have actually hit table.
Excellent. Stuff to plan for next year. We'll sit down, we'll make a list, and we'll go, right, these are the games we want to tackle this year.
And then this time next year, we'll be telling you all the things that we didn't play that we'd planned to play.
Exactly. In probably the most relevant news for us, Blood Bowl-wise, we got 2 teams this year. We got Gnomes and we got Chaos Dwarves. I know how you feel about Gnomes.
I mean, they were... I like the fact they introduced a new team. I like the fact that it had a slightly different feel and mechanic to the other stuff out there. It wasn't just a reskinned version of an existing team.
Yep.
I like a lot of things about it, and I equally understand that we are playing a format of Blood Bowl that is not the primary format and not what they're designing for. So there's some additional challenges that we need to sort of consider there. But fundamental, and the other part of the Gnomes release that I really, really enjoyed was by the time that GW had announced them and released them, there were about 4 or 5 different options for teams that you could actually snag because people went bonkers trying to get a team out for release day, which was great.
Oh my God. 3D printers these days with Blood Bowl. Oh my God, there's so much to choose from. Yeah, and GW are churning out some amazing models, so there is absolutely nothing wrong with the actual GW teams as well, but some of the options, just incredible stuff. Yeah. Chaos Dwarves, I haven't played the new Chaos Dwarves. I haven't played against them. So.
And to be really, really clear, neither have I. However, they are still... Chaos Dwarves, they got 2 extra positions, one of which could be useful.
Mm-hmm.
So they're still kind of Chaos Dwarves.
They are. I think they've dropped a little bit in the strength of the team, which is fine. They were an extremely strong
boring.
team.
Strong.
Yeah. 3 positions. That's all they had. Did they have access to the Minotaur before?
They had the Minotaur before.
Okay, so 4.
So you had, but only 3 that people ended up taking.
Mm-hmm.
So you ended up having the 2 centaurs, blockers to the cows come home, and then you fill with linemen, hobgoblins, and happy days.
You've got options.
Yeah, so I mean, the Minotaur's still there. You've got the little flamesmith, fire breathy dwarf, and you've got a hobgoblin stabber.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple more choices. Stabber seems fun. I on paper, and again, this is with 0 actual in-game practice, I cannot think of a reason to take the flamesmith over a regular dwarf, unless that's a positional description or restriction more than anything.
His flame breath, it counts as a blitz if you move and do it, doesn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
But effectively, a 1 it hits him, and it's got to hit other people on a 4+ anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to block things with stuff that blocks really reliably.
Look, and without tackle, they've gone down a little bit, but it still seems like a strong team. And
good.
I've got a couple of the models that I've put together already. You've very nicely done me up some bull centaurs, so now I can actually run it. So we'll get that into various states of grey plastic at some point soon. But probably the most important information or most important new thing that came out for Blood Bowl in 2024 is a certain pink match pitch.
Okay, good. We are on the same page. It's like...
Oh my God, they turned out so good. I am so in love with these pitches. And I mean, I love the original TCG ones that we made up, but the cartoony aspect that Alice's drawings made to it and the bright pink on the pitch itself, it just makes it something special.
It is just the right level of whimsy.
Yes. All the information you need on a beautiful looking pitch with Jason and I's 7 heads on them. As you do.
It just feels like the right balance between practical and ridiculous.
Yes, it does. And that's what we aim for. So, these pictures, have we gotten all of them to people that had bought them?
Great question. Let's take that one up after the episode.
Let's file it away for later. We do have spares, so if anyone is interested, they are on our website, so you can go and have a look. But my God, this is my favourite Sevens pitch that exists at the moment.
Agreed.
Yeah. We did a couple of giveaways as well this year. So we gave away an Army Painter speed paint set. We gave away the Gnome team, Sable brushes, Star Wars Shatterpoint crew, and we currently have a giveaway going up on Facebook at the moment where you can get yourself your choice of Dungeon Bowl, Kill Team, Underworlds, or Warcry, which is our big end of year giveaway. All you need to do is just tag someone and tell us which one you want. People who have entered our painting events and who entered our tournaments will get extra votes, and also obviously our patrons who help us in doing these sort of giveaways, which we're incredibly grateful for. They'll get extra entries according to their Patreon level. Incidentally, we had 3 new Patreons this year, so we're slowly growing. We're not losing people. The same idiots that have been giving us money since we started are still doing that. But we greatly appreciate the help, because I think I said it the other episode, but we very quickly realized that doing what we wanted to do and do the support and the giveaways to the community that we wanted to do was going to be very expensive for us. And our Patreons help us out no end.
Yeah, it makes a lot of the other stuff actually doable, because there would have needed to be a conversation around, okay, well, this actually isn't sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it means that we can keep doing the stuff that we're doing.
Yeah. No, totally appreciate you guys. Look, we appreciate everyone that bothers to listen. Yeah, we do this for the fun of it, obviously. But the fact that so many people have gotten on board and have joined the Discord and made the Discord their own, there's so many people who are as much a part of this community as we are, which is just beautiful. Anyway, that's about all I had listed down. You got anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, I think there was stuff that we've done, there was stuff that we've painted, there's games that we've played. That was kind of the year that's been, right?
Yeah.
I think I am honestly more excited about the episode about the year to be.
Yes.
There's thoughts and ideas brewing away around how to practically, and I think it's probably an important bit. You reflected earlier in the episode about how bit of a shit of a year, and whether it's been an actual shit of a year for people, or whether it's actually just been, I think for some people as well, it just hasn't been what they expected. Doesn't mean it was bad, but maybe wasn't. Maybe there was big plans that just didn't quite happen. And so I think, a bit of a chat around things that we can do to kind of not repeat that performance, to just take steps in the right direction. And, I think, you've got to make some, you've got to be part of the change. So I'm pretty keen for the next episode around, what we're going to do maybe a little bit differently next year to put feet in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. No, that sounds fantastic, because it definitely wasn't a fantastic year for me, but at the same time, I am eager for next year, and I have ideas. If anyone else has ideas that they would like us to sort of put in motion or work towards as well, feel free to drop us a line, Discord, Facebook, through the website, whatever the way you want to do it. I think 2025 has real potential, and I want to grow in a way as a podcast, as a promoter of gaming, not necessarily events, but stuff that's going on, and also grow, possibly more importantly, as a person, in a better direction next year. So let's wrap it up there, and let's convene again in a week or so. And
holy shit, it's only a week or so.
I know, right? We got what? It'll be Christmas before we blink, and then it's all into 2025. Anyway, thank you very much for listening to us prattle on. Give us a follow, Spotify, Facebook, Twitch, Podbean, all of those sort of things. Rate, give us a rating on almost all of those things. You can give us ratings on now. So
even if you can't, just work out a way to just be like, you suck on literally any channel. I'm cool for it. Like, find a way. Be resourceful, people.
Yeah, the more ratings we get, and the more the algorithm works in our favor and puts us out to more people, and hopefully we can grow an even stronger community than what we've already got. Although that's going to be hard, because I think what we've got now is just incredible. As always, thank you very much to our thoughtless Patreons, Alice, Archie, Clinton, Craig, Gertzy, Jared, Kingsley, and Yuri. Please nobody else join on that level because that's getting to be way too much for me to say every single episode. But we appreciate you guys incredibly.
We could just record it and put it at the end of the episode.
I mean, we could. It sounds lazy, but we could.
You say lazy, I say efficient.
What if we we just do one night session where we just record a whole heap of stuff that we can just mash together into episodes from now until the end of time.
I love it.
And then we don't have to record again in each episode. Here is my good friend, Mr. Black. Anyway,
as long as we can find some way to like AI mash it together, so I don't have to manually do it.
Yes,
because agree.
No, for sure. Yeah,
we'll sell ourselves for just get AI versions of our voices, and just give it topics to talk about, and it can AI itself a script and talk between us, and we don't actually have to do anything.
If we can do that, we totally should release one episode.
We should just try it. Yeah, I'm keen.
See what comes out.
Give it a crack.
All right. Stay tuned for that. It's going to put an interesting note on things.
We'll do it randomly throughout the year to see if anyone notices.
Nobody will. Unless it's a recap of 2023. Nobody will listen. Thanks very much, guys. Laters.
Catch up. Subscription.